I know it's not a big deal because Greg Gutfeld is on the case. By the way, we might have to jump past the jokes and go straight to panel if this gets too painful.
Great.
This is So Gutfeld, just like Greg Kelly, in many ways feels a personal attachment to this story because he's full of hot air. Greg's full of hot air balloons.
What a great audience for Monday. Doesn't even feel like a Monday to me. All right. So, thank you.
His teleprompter wasn't working.
So, did you hear what China did? Yeah, they cloned super cows. Chinese scientists say they've cloned 3 calves that once grown will be capable of producing 50% more milk than the average American cow. So they're...
Which is bullshit, by the way.
Putting our cows out to pasture like voters did to Hillary. That is a reach, but I approve. By the way, I believe we have a picture of these new super cows.
All right, yeah. So we can skip this bullshit. And then Hunter, and then China. Oh, why is this a Kilmeade one? China insists balloon was just an air and civilian air drive. Okay. They slam Kilmeade, make a joke, run Forrest run. I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's the best thing to happen in Montana since Custer's last stand. It was the only thing to happen in Montana since Custer's last stand. And perhaps...
All right, it's that bad. Just a series of anti-trans jokes and weird shit, and fly it into the Space Needle, and then here's the guests, and then they...
Welcome tonight's guest! You may recognize him from the last time you Googled non-threatening white guy, co-host of the Big Money Show, Brian Brenberg. She was the only...
Or you could put their name on the screen under Tonight Gutfeld. I guess they're all gone. Everybody who works there just went home.
Lawyer whose clients asked her to remain silent. Outnumbered co-host Emily Campagno. You know, critics said we'd never be able to book Time Out Magazine's Joke of the Year winner 2009, but here we are. WesternRazor.com owner, David Angelo. And finally, she's like a pretzel, twisted, salty, and better when smothered in hot mustard. Fox News contributor, Cat Tip.
Yeah, his shit about her gets creepier by the week.
So, David, why the hat? What's on your head?
Well, you know, Greg, I've come on the show several times, and I'm always pumping the Western Razor Company. And I figure, you know what? I don't need to keep saying it. Let's just put it up here, get it out of the way, and then we can get down to business.
It's not doing very well, is it?
Yeah, you know, I'm living in the YMCA, and...
But you know what? We're talking about balloons here.
Oh, my God. Maybe we could use a razor to pop it.
You make razors. You must
Oh, fuck.
have your own. You could have probably solved this problem much faster than our daughter and president.
Well, you know, I think our operation is part of the reason why they sent that over here. You know?
Really?
Made in America razors? Come on, we're threatening the entire industry. They're a little worried.
Yeah.
That's what I'm...
Oh, Jesus. I can't. Nope. No, I'm bailing out. It's like, it's bad. But that's just way too bad. And besides, I have another one waiting in the ring. Jesus Christ. That whole show is like that. That's all of it. God damn. All right. So screw that. Let's just go straight to the part on the 5, I think it was, where Judge Janine tells us all what you may think you know, but you don't know like Janine knows, man. Janine's gonna sit. The judge is here to set you straight. Tell you what's up. This is House Parks Mega Worldwide, and this is Judge Janine. This was an act of espionage. And scene.
Biden finally popping the giant Chinese spy balloon. But did it take too long for it to go boom? After letting it fly over most of the continental U.S., the military finally shooting this sucker down off the coast of South Carolina. The president just a little while ago says it was always his plan to take it out.
We made it clear to China what we're going to do. They understand our position. We're not going to back off. We did the right thing.
Has it always been your view to shoot down a Chinese spy balloon, or was it only because it became public?
No, it was always my position. Once it came over into the United States from Canada, I told the Defense Department wanted to shoot it down as soon as it was appropriate. They concluded we should not shoot it down over land. It was not a serious threat, and we should wait till it got across the water.
Clearly, this is his finest moment since Corn Pop.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like a small gum drawer on that table with like callbacks.
Parts of this commie spy craft have been scooped up and sent over to the FBI for further analysis. And despite
Which wouldn't have happened if you shot it down over ground. Well, it would have happened, but you would have less to work with.
assuring the American people there was no threat, a senior U.S. official now says there may have been self-detonating explosives on the vessel, just like Jesse's hair. Republicans are reacting with
He just tried to save a flub.
their usual.
Yeah, you can always save a flub in your joking while you're hosting something by being a dick to one of your guests. It's always there. You know what I mean?
Pouncing.
It's like a favorite jacket that's always on the rack.
The message they were trying to send is what they believe internally, and that is that the United States is a once great superpower that's hollowed out, that's in decline. And the message they're trying to send the world is, look, these guys can't even do anything about a balloon flying over U.S. airspace.
Not a spy balloon.
And why would they need to send the balloon to give that message? Marco Rubio and Tom Cotton have been spreading that exact message for fucking ever. Well, at least since Biden took over. During Trump, they were like, I don't know, he's got him on the ropes. But all of a sudden, once Biden's in office, why do you even need the fucking balloon to show the world that, you know, we're not unified, we're dismantling our system from the inside out and all that kind of shit? Why would you even need that when you've got these guys? This asshole is a balloon that's constantly floating over Missouri.
Complete its spy mission before we shot it down.
No, the completion of the mission would be to return home unscathed or be picked up in the ocean somewhere once it falls after it runs out of power. That would be the completed mission.
I'm afraid is an embarrassment to the United States.
The president.
Maybe it was looking to see, maybe it was really headed for Puerto Rico. They just were like, what kind of good time is happening down there?
Taking it down over the Atlantic is sort of like the quarterback, sort of like tackling the quarterback after the game is over.
It makes us look weak and flat-footed on the world stage.
No, it doesn't. As a matter of fact, they were fucking pissed.
And China is pushing back against America, claiming what happened is a, quote, clear overreaction. And you can probably guess who agrees with that.
They love this. They love that Republicans turned this into this big drama. If you're going to spy, you're not going to send a giant balloon all across the United States for a week, right? I mean, Chinese know how to spy. They, they can do it better. They wanted to create a crisis, a national crisis, an international crisis. They wanted it to be elevated and be visible and be talked about, and they got it.
They're looking for experts on.
No, it was. That particular balloon is supposed to be flying at 100,000 feet, and it dropped down to 60,000 feet, and it became more of a problem because of that. That's it.
Giant balloons. You got to go to the View.
I mean, that's always my go-to.
Yeah, exactly.
And for foreign policy.
Yeah,
and I have to go to for foreign policy.
Everything could be handled better. That's good. You could say that about anything. What do you make of this in your sober, objective criticism?
I think hindsight is 20/20, right? But
did you just coin that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good phrase if you think about it. If you think like it's hindsight when you look back.
Yes.
Things are always perfect. A few things to raise. So Bloomberg reported that President Biden was keeping it quiet because he didn't want to give Republicans any fodder for suggesting he's weak on China.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let's see. Bloomberg. Biden. Balloon. That was easy. Let's see. Politics. Excuse me. So good. We got cited. Like a thing. Oh, for fuck's sake. They were testing us. Do you have House Armed Forces? Being Leon Marlowe. Chinese. Back up. I'm trying to find one that says something like that, and all they've got is just the current, like, latest on the balloon. All right, we'll work it out later.
I do think that if they had shot it down over Alaska and it had come down, there would have been criticism of, why did you shoot it down so quickly? You should have let it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's a lot of sort of
Monday morning quarterbacking.
Point counterpoint on that. However, because they kept it quiet, they ensured that there would be more mystery. Now that there's more mystery, there are a lot more questions, including this thing where over the weekend, the administration from the Pentagon floats this thing that says 3 of these balloons came across during the Trump administration. Well, that story all fell apart pretty quickly because it's like, what do you mean by near? Everybody in the Trump administration, including the former president himself and everybody that was in national security said, no, I don't think so. So now the...
Well, that should solve it. No, I don't think so. Well, yeah, it did. I mean, we have the tracking data. No, you don't. Yes, I do. It's right there. No, you don't. How do you know? You don't even have clearance anymore. Fuck you.
President is just hanging out there by himself. And if you think there's all the criticism is one thing, this is a moment where President Biden could have said, let's all rally together. Let's all do this together. I mean, this is tomorrow night is.
Let's all get together and hate the balloon as one united. This is like he should have stood on the rubble of the balloon with a bullhorn, going, the people who sent this balloon are going to hear us all very, very soon. Well, I don't know if do we send them balloons or what's the, I don't know. What's a 5-year anniversary?
When we talk about the State of the Union, we can all agree that this is not acceptable. We could all do that, but instead, because they tried to keep it quiet, it was never going to be kept quiet. Then they tried to basically blame President Trump or like try to sully Trump over this. That invited all these other conversations rather than just saying, we are united against China, and stay tuned for Tuesday night. I'm going to tell you more.
Yeah, you know, Jessica.
He should have. That was Biden's problem. He didn't use the balloon as an ad for the State of the Union.
It does seem that we should all be pointing fingers at China instead of each other. But having said that, is it fair to say that Joe is the Manchurian candidate under the thumb of the CCP?
That's actually what I was going to lead with.
Well, I know, because you're wearing red.
I was trying to be nice, and she's wearing blue, so let's see where that's going when she could talk. So this was really, I was thinking about the last time that there was kind of foreign policy outrage over what Joe Biden did. And Afghanistan is obviously the kind of motherlode of everybody is criticizing him. And at that particular instance, he really wanted that, right? And the military, the Pentagon, and all the generals were saying, we need to do this at a slower rate. You can't just pull everyone out of there. We're going to be leaving people behind. We're going to lose lives because of it. We created a civil society there that's in tatters at this point. I mean, horrific stories of what's coming out there. This wasn't that, right? So Biden's first reaction, which is perfectly in line with his personality, was shoot it down.
In the leg.
It's funny.
No, it isn't.
Shoot it down. And the Pentagon said that's not what's safest. And can you imagine what would happen if suddenly there were explosive devices, or if there was another, let's for those who think that COVID was a bioweapon, right?
Everybody's tweeting me. Everybody's copying my story. Like, as soon as I started putting that up, I'm taking credit, goddammit. Just like I own the phrase maggots, goddammit, I'm the one who started, like, the minute this started happening, chat room, you guys can back me up, that, like, I looked for anybody who was saying, you do realize that you could, fill that with a pathogen and say, hey, could we shoot it, if they shoot it down, would it be an effective way to spread it? Will they react to any of these things by shooting them down? So the next time we send them, we send 70 of them, and they, at different heights and speeds, and they all go down. And then anybody who shoots them they land, and spread anthrax every fucking where. And nobody was mentioning it. Everyone was like, should they shoot it down, or should they wait, or is it doing anything? Are they jamming it? Like all the stuff we already fucking knew. Yeah, sparks, balloon pathogens. I said it right away, and I hit everybody with it. I reminded everyone. And by the way, even like Comer is going, how do we know it didn't have a bioweapon in it? Like, well, motherfucker, then you sure as shit don't want to shoot it down over the country. You don't want to shoot over Missouri or Kansas or even fucking Billings. I don't know a lot of people from those places, but I got nothing against them that would want them to get anthrax. Jesus. Like, I don't get it.
That leaked out of this plant in a lab in Wuhan. And there was something like that in the balloon. We had no idea what was going on there. And that would have been so much astronomically worse than what happened. So yes, of course, a few days of people able to see this thing and take pictures of it on their iPhones is obviously a problem. And we'll hear more about the previous balloons that apparently our technology couldn't even track properly, which speaks badly of us, right? If they have been floating these balloons even over Alaska, which last time I checked was ours, we should know about it every single time that happens. Mm-hmm. But I don't see how this is some major flaw in the Biden foreign policy apparatus or some major point of
Yeah, Greg's totally muted right now.
Embarrassment. And I think that when people jockey for points with something like
embarrassment to the U.S., Republicans rip Biden's handling of the Chinese spy balloon. He hasn't actually handled it. If you handle it, it could be dangerous. I'm just saying.
It kind of hollows out more valid arguments that they might make of where he has fallen short, like in Afghanistan.
Jesse, she makes a valid argument there. Care to retort?
Sure. So this thing flew across the entire country and got nothing? It didn't spy on anything?
It didn't do this? We're supposed to believe that it wasn't supposed to do it? We're supposed to just let it keep taking pictures or listening to Huawei towers that Trump allowed them to put in until he flipped on them in the last year, and we're supposed to, they don't know this? I think it'd be worth it to spread anthrax over a large portion of the Midwest rather than have pictures taken or something. Like,
never picked up any intel. Well, that's what Joe Biden's saying. Joe Biden's saying this thing came 4,500 miles across the continental United States, and trust me, it didn't pick up anything. That's the same thing they said about the woman that slept with Swalwell. She didn't really get much. Dianne Feinstein's...
What'd she get, then? What'd she get? She got a ride home. And also, where is the evidence that she slept with him? Where is that story? I have been looking for a long time. The only stuff I can find is that she was a bundler for him and that she's young and Asian, and so, of course, fuckheads like this will just instantly sexualize her. So weird.
Driver was a Chinese spy for 20 years. He didn't really hear much in the back seat. Mm-hmm. They say...
What about the Chinese spy that came to Mar-a-Lago while Trump was president?
That every time about China. I don't trust that. These Chinese guys are in Beijing with a little joystick. If they're not picking up anything, then why are they zigzagging the balloon over all of our military bases? Mm-hmm. Well, Joe said...
Because they couldn't pick something up here, and then they tried to try another site, and they're not picking anything up, and they're like, what? Is this thing not working? What the fuck? It's supposed to work. It was floating, isn't it? Yeah, I know it's floating, and I know it moves where I want it to, but I'm not getting any signal. There's nothing coming out of it. Maybe they're jamming it with their airplanes. But Marco Rubio said they can't. You talked to him? Yeah, of course I did.
Says he took countermeasures. It's like when Jesse Jr. tries to hide in the living room. He takes a blanket and just throws it. Where's Jesse? I don't know. Peekaboo. That's Joe Biden. How many times as the United States government says, we've taken countermeasures to make sure the Chinese don't steal our stuff? They've been saying that for 3 decades.
Yeah, it's interesting that they finally mean it.
But they keep stealing our stuff, so I'm not...
Yeah, what did they steal, dummy? What'd they get? What? Anything. What'd they get? Show me anything they can't find from Google Earth.
Taking Joe's word for it. Maybe we did black out the military bases. What if they flew over General Electric's headquarters, Caterpillar's headquarters, Berkshire Hathaway's headquarters? Do they have the countermeasures that the Defense Department has? Did Warren Buffett throw a blanket over his hard drive? Oh, they got nothing.
Yeah, they do. Wait a minute. You think the Chinese are the only people trying to break into Berkshire Hathaway's servers?
So I'm not really trusting what they're telling us. Now, imagine this happens with Trump.
It did happen with Trump.
Imagine the Chinese send $6 million to the Trump family. The Chinese send
17.
And $100 million to the Trump Center at Penn, and then
Yeah, there is no Trump Center at Penn because nobody wants to learn anything from
give
it.
Don Jr. a few diamonds. And then Trump lies all about it, tries to cover it up, and the Chinese float a spy device all over, and he doesn't touch the thing until after it spies on us. And
He didn't touch any of them during the entire time they were over the country.
Shoots it out of the sky. They would
He had spies, he had Chinese spies at Mar-a-Lago during his presidency. He took pictures with them.
impeach in a second. Montana has no one living in Montana. Alaska, even less people. You know how the radius was to pick up this thing that fell into the ocean? 7 miles. You're saying you couldn't find a 7 square mile area in Alaska or Montana to recover this thing? Last time I checked, too, when electronics get wet, they fizzle out. When it lands on land, they probably survive better.
Yeah, they're going to put it in a giant bowl of rice. Rice they're buying from China.
It's almost like Joe Biden wanted the balloon sack to get wet.
In the Pentagon.
The balloon sack?
It's almost like he wanted it to get wet. So the FBI
Or the military did?
takes it. So the FBI now has the laptop and it has the Chinese balloon sack in Quantico.
The sack? No.
They're analyzing both. The best part about this is that Joe is overruled by the generals. Joe said shoot it down, and the general said let's wait.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Let's wait.
Right.
Judge,
That's
look,
a great point.
This is
First of all, he didn't say, let's shoot it down. They said, let's wait. He said, when can we do it safely? And they said, when it's over the ocean.
the latest act by China in terms of espionage
It is.
and spying
Yeah.
on the United States.
Yes, the last time the lady who does my nails was look at me squirrely, and it says she's Korean, but I don't buy it.
And if we look at it any differently than that, then we are being naive. Whether it was those Confucius Institutes at the colleges, whether it's
Yeah, they were all there during Trump.
they're hacking into 100 American companies with the backing of the Chinese Communist Party, whether it's TikTok, the honeypots. It's a constant effort by China to sabotage the United States.
Right. And the Biden administration is taking more countermeasures against that than any administration in history. Your point.
And but for those reporters in Montana that we found out about, we would never have known about this. And I give you as evidence of that the fact that Biden had no intention of pulling Blinken back from going to China. Blinken wasn't pulled back until Friday, when Biden apparently knew and the administration knew on Saturday. But oh no, once the American people knew, I'm going to be tough. I'm not going to have Blinken go over there. Hogwash, we just called your bluff. Now, China says initially it was a meteorological surveillance. And
Right. And they knew China was saying that for a week. And on Friday, they called bullshit.
the U.S. was good with that. There's no problem here. They're just doing checking climate stuff. And so the White House then says they didn't get much of anything. Well, how the hell do you know that?
They have it.
And what are they doing hovering above our intercontinental ballistic missile sites? And I understand from military people that they can actually see the lay of the airplanes underground in
Oh, my
those
God.
missile sites.
You mean, thanks, Janine. Thanks. Great work, dummy. Now you've told everybody that the planes are there. Now we got to move them. Thanks. Yeah, maybe the Chinese satellites are, but now the Iranians know it and the Russians know it because you had to open your big trap.
And here's another one for you.
Don't tell, no more national secrets, Janine. I don't know who's slipping you these things.
Why the balloons? The balloons fly above aircraft. They fly 60, 80, 100,000 feet above ground. What does that tell you? That level of height doesn't permit the shooting of it down. In other words, an F-22 cannot take down one of these. It's not a damn balloon from a birthday party. It's a spy craft. An F-22 cannot take it down if it's 60, 80,000 or 100,000 feet up. So what we've got...
Well, it was at 60,000 feet up. They did get it that they can't get it at 80 to 100. They would have to send something else. We have other planes that can fly that high. We also have missiles that can go, they fire and then it goes higher. You don't think we have any missiles that can go 20,000 feet? Never mind. It's so stupid.
Got is them hovering over Montana, our intercontinental ballistic sites, and Biden then says the military said, no, don't take it down. Hogwash. If we learned anything from Biden and Afghanistan, it's that the top generals, when they were put under oath, said, we told Biden you got to leave people there. We told Biden you have to leave people.
Yeah, they told everybody that. That's why we stayed in Afghanistan, you fucking dits. Oh my God. This is the, like, I don't know why they keep eating this shit all the time. I don't know.
People in Afghanistan. And Biden said, no, they never told me. They never warned me. The bottom line is this. When Karine Jean-Pierre gets up today and she says, well, it's up to China to decide what the relationship is, that's naive. It is up to us to set the parameters and to say, you have violated our sovereignty.
That's right. That's right. We just backhand him like that. Don't have her come out and go, look, China did this. And obviously they have different feelings about how they want to interact with the United States than we do. We are an open society and we would like to work, closely with our allies. It seems like China doesn't want to be an ally. Instead of poking them in a diplomatic way, Judge Janine wants to come out and goes, fuck these, like...
You have breached our security. There's going to be consequences.
Yeah, God damn it.
But not with this guy.
All right.
Yeah, well, there's going to be consequences, but not for 2 years, obviously, because you paid him $1 billion. And CHIPS Act, AUKUS agreement, greatest reshoring of factories in the history of the country.
Great start for a Monday, huh?
Yes, here we go.
No.
I think we could probably just go home.
Yeah, let's go home.
I recommend it.